I opened a group chat by accident and found out my friends were planning to cut me off. I exposed the truth. My name is Maya. I'm 32. And I want to tell you how I planned the most beautiful surprise party for the man who destroyed me in front of everyone. It was a Saturday morning. Bright, warm, normal. I had just made breakfast. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice. He didn't say much. Just scrolled through his phone and nodded when I said, "Happy early birthday." My husband's name is Daniel. We'd been married for 7 years. We had our ups and downs, but I thought we were solid. I thought we were real. Daniel wasn't the romantic type. He wasn't into flashy things. But I knew he secretly loved being appreciated. He just never asked for it. So I decided this year I was going to plan him something special. Something unforgettable. A surprise party. Not at a restaurant. Not in some noisy bar. In our home. With people he loved. With candles. Photos, music he liked. I wanted him to feel seen. To feel loved. To feel mine. I started planning a month in advance. I told his sister Carla. I looped in his childhood best friend, Josh. I reached out to old coworkers. Even his boss. Everyone was excited. Everyone said, "Maya, he's going to cry. You're such a great wife. He's lucky to have you." I smiled through all of it, because that's all I wanted. For him to feel loved. For once. For real. I designed the invites myself. Black and gold. Elegant. With a picture of us on the back. The photo was from our honeymoon in Italy. He had his arm around me. Sunset in the background. We looked happy, but now that I think about it, he didn't really smile with his eyes. I bought decorations, balloons, streamers, candles, a custom cake. It read, "To Daniel, the man, the myth, the legend." I even hired a photographer, because I wanted the night to be perfect. I wanted to freeze it in time. I never expected that the photo album from that night would feel like a funeral. The night of the party, I sent him out with his brother. Just a casual dinner plan. While he was out, we set everything up. The living room sparkled. Soft jazz played. Candles glowed. Every guest was in on it. Phones ready. Everyone waiting to yell, "Surprise!" I stood by the door, heart pounding, nervous, excited, hopeful. At 8:07 p.m., the door opened. Daniel walked in, and we all shouted, "Surprise!" He froze, eyes wide, then slowly he smiled. Not too big, but enough. I ran to hug him. "Happy early birthday, babe." He hugged me back. But something felt off. His arms didn't tighten, his cheek didn't rest on mine. His heart wasn't in it, but I brushed it off. Maybe he was overwhelmed. The night moved on. People gave toasts. They told stories about him. Funny memories. Kind words. Laughter. Stood beside him, smiling, holding his hand. Every time I looked at him he seemed distant, like his mind was somewhere else. Still I ignored it. I was too deep into the dream. Too desperate to believe in it. Around 10 p.m., the room got quieter. It was time for Daniel to speak. I handed him the mic. Kissed his cheek. "Say something," I whispered. "Everyone's here for you." He took the mic. Cleared his throat. Smiled politely. And then he said something I will never in my life forget. "Thank you all for being here, really, this is quite something." He paused. Looked at me. I smiled at him. Waiting. Maya worked hard on this. She always puts everyone before herself. And I'm grateful. I squeezed his hand. Still smiling. Still believing. Then he said, "So, I guess this is as good a time as any to tell you all something important." People leaned in, curious. "Maya and I are getting a divorce." The room went silent. Dead silent. I stared at him. Smiling. Still smiling. Because I didn't understand the words. Not yet. Then the laughter started. A few chuckles. Nervous ones. People thought it was a joke. Even I did. You're kidding, I whispered. Right. Daniel looked at me. Eyes calm, voice flat. No, I'm not. The room didn't know what to do. A few guests gasped. Someone dropped a glass. Carla looked at me, horrified. Daniel, what the hell are you doing? Josh snapped, but Daniel didn't flinch. I didn't know how else to say it. We've been having problems. I've made up my mind. He handed the mic back and walked to the kitchen, as if he just told people we were out of ice. I stood there alone, surrounded by candles and people and food I made for a man who just left me in front of everyone. I didn't cry. Not yet. My brain hadn't caught up that my heart was still frozen. Carla rushed to me. Maya, I had no idea. I thought you two were fine. I whispered. So did I, Josh cursed under his breath. Some guests started leaving, awkwardly, whispers everywhere. Eyes on me. I looked around, at the decorations. The cake. Our picture on the wall, and I wanted to burn it all. Instead, I walked to the kitchen. He was drinking water, calm. You couldn't wait? I asked. He looked at me, expressionless. You surprised me. I surprised you. You're cruel. He shrugged. I'm honest. I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit something. I wanted to wake up. But all I did was whisper, why? And he said, because I don't love you anymore. Then he walked past me. Out the door. Leaving me in the house I turned into magic for a man who turned my world into dust. I stood there, in a room full of decorations made for a man who just ended our marriage. In front of everyone, the candles were still lit. The cake sat untouched. Our photo on the wall mocked me with every second that passed. People left. Some hugged me, most just avoided eye contact. No one knew what to say. How do you comfort someone who just got destroyed at her own surprise party? Carla stayed. So did Josh. The rest slowly disappeared one by one. I hadn't cried yet. I hadn't screamed. I just stood there like a ghost, inside my own life. Carla finally spoke. Softly. Maya, do you want me to stay the night? I shook my head. No, I need to be alone. She didn't argue. She just hugged me and whispered, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Neither did I that night. I sat on the couch, the decorations still hung above me. The banner that read Happy Birthday Daniel flickered slightly in the air. I stared at the cake. A custom-made masterpiece. I picked up a knife and cut into it, not to eat. Just to destroy something. Then I tossed the slice in the sink and walked away. My phone buzzed. A text from Daniel. I'll come by in the morning to grab a few things. Number. Apology, no explanation. No shame, I didn't reply. I just threw the phone onto the floor and curled up in bed. Still in my party dress. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't, because every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face, calm, cold, detached. Like I meant nothing, and I started to wonder. Did I? The next morning, I woke up to knocking. I checked the time. 7:18 a.m. I opened the door. Daniel stood there with 2 duffel bags. I just came for clothes, he said. Not even a greeting. He walked past me, like he still lived there. Like he still had a right. You blindsided me, I whispered. He didn't look up. He just opened drawers and started grabbing shirts. You would have dragged it out forever, he said. I had to do it. In front of 30 people, he shrugged. It was clean. It was fast. It's done. I felt something in me crack. What did I ever do to deserve that? He finally stopped, looked at me. You tried too hard. You always tried too hard. It was exhausting. I felt my breath leave my body. I tried, because I loved you. He nodded, and that's the problem. You loved me too much. I stopped loving you a long time ago. Because the woman I used to be, the one who begged for his attention, was gone. I wasn't planning parties anymore. I was rebuilding a life. It's been 2 months, Since I found out the truth. 2 months since I walked away from a group I once called family. In life, it got quiet. But it also got better. Ariba and I have been slowly rebuilding. We're not what we were, but we're something new. Something real. We went on that trip. 2 nights in the mountains. No Wi-Fi. Just books. And space, and honesty. We talked about the past. About the things we didn't say. And the things we finally did. I started therapy, once a week. A space to say all the ugly truths I'd swallowed for years. I was healing, slowly. But honestly. Until the message came. It was 1:47 a.m. I was half asleep. When I heard my phone buzz, a new number. Lena, it's Isha. Please don't block me, I need to talk. Not for drama, not to argue, I just need to tell you something. It's important. I sat up in bed, staring at the screen. My heart raced. Isha, the one who said I was too emotional, who helped plan the fade, who never apologized. Part of me wanted to delete the text, but something in my gut said, wait. I replied, why now? A few seconds later, because I finally see it. And I need you to know what they've done since you left. She asked to meet. Public place, my choice. I picked the quiet tea cafe near the lake. Sunday morning, 10 a.m., I told Ariba. She offered to come. I said no, I needed to do this alone. I arrived early. Ordered mint tea. Sat at a table outside. 10:03, Isha arrived. Hair down, dark circles. No smile. She sat. Thank you, she whispered. I didn't think you'd come. I didn't respond. Just waited. She took a deep breath. Then said, I know you hate me, and you should. But I can't live with what I know. She reached into her purse, pulled out a small notebook, worn edges, bent corners. She slid across the table. What is this? I asked. Her voice shook. A diary, Talia's. My heart skipped. What? She nodded. She left it at my place. After one of our hangouts. I didn't mean to read it. But when I opened it, I saw pages about you. I flipped it open. Scribbled handwriting, dates, paragraphs, words that made my skin crawl. Lena's weakness is her anxiety. Use it gently. Let her implode herself. The fade must be silent. If she lashes out, we blame her outbursts. Ariba is too soft. Watch her. She might flip. I looked at Isha. Tears were in her eyes. She manipulated all of us, she said. She used our fears, our insecurities, turned us into her weapons. My hands shook. I closed the notebook. Why didn't you say anything earlier? She looked down. Because I was scared. Because she had dirt on me too. I frowned. Dirt? She hesitated. Then whispered. Remember when you told me you had a panic attack and couldn't come to Zara's brunch? I nodded. It was a hard day. I was barely holding it together. Isha bit her lip. I told Talia, and she laughed. Said it was predictable. Then she told Zara you were using mental health as a shield. I felt sick, but I said nothing, because deep down I knew I'd always felt it. But seeing it written confirmed everything. She used you too, I said quietly. Isha nodded. Until she turned on me, just like she turned on you. Just like she will with the others. Then she said something that stopped my breath. There's more. Talia created an anonymous account. She's been posting things about you, on Reddit, on Facebook groups, making you look unstable, to strangers. My blood went cold. What? She nodded. She used your real stories, changed names. But the details were you. She wanted people to see you as dramatic, unreliable. I stared at her, frozen. Isha whispered. I have screenshots. I'll send them to you, and she did, later that night. 23 screenshots. Fake usernames, fake accounts, but real details. Things only Talia would know. My voice. My life, twisted, mocked, exposed. To strangers. I could have gone to the police. Could have posted it online. Could have destroyed her, but instead I sent her a message, just one. I know what you did. I have proof. And if you don't disappear from my life, I won't stay silent anymore. She didn't reply, but the next day her account was gone, the posts were deleted. Her number changed, her socials wiped clean. I didn't feel relief. Not really. Just empty, like a storm had passed and left everything still. But something changed, inside me. I wasn't scared anymore, not of being alone, not of being judged, not of losing people who never truly cared. I told Ariba everything. Showed her the diary. The screenshots. She cried. Said she always knew something was off, but never imagined it was that dark. We decided to do something symbolic. We drove to the cliffs, where we used to take group photos. And we brought everything. The printed screenshots, the notebook, even an old group picture, and we burned it. Together, in silence. Then scattered the ashes into the wind. We didn't cheer. Didn't dance. We just stood there, free, because healing isn't about revenge. It's about release. Later that night, I got one last message, from a fake account. No name. No picture. Just one line. You're stronger than I ever expected. I deleted it. Without replying. Because I already knew, I'm not perfect. I'm not unbreakable, but I am whole. And I am done being anyone's quiet target. Friendship is supposed to feel safe, like home, not like war. So now, I choose peace. But not the kind they tried to fake. Real peace. That comes from truth, boundaries, and finally choosing myself. It had been weeks since Isha told me the truth. Weeks since I burned what was left of my past, and for the first time in months, I felt calm. Really calm. Not numb, not angry. Just still. I'd found new rhythms. My mornings had meaning again. My nights weren't haunted. Ariba and I were stronger than ever. Therapy was working. My walls were still up, but now they had windows. Then one morning I got an email, not a message, not a DM, not a text. An actual email, from someone I never expected. Nadia. She had barely said a word in the old group. Always the quiet one. Always agreeing but never leading. I used to think she didn't care. Now I wasn't sure. Subject line: You don't owe me anything. But please read. I hovered over it. Clicked. Lena, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. I was silent when I should have spoken. I didn't defend you when I saw the wrongs. I let it all happen quietly. I was a coward. And I've hated myself for every day since. I don't expect forgiveness. But there's something you need to know. Talia didn't just manipulate us. She used you, for clout, for control. She bragged to people outside our group. Said she kept you around to look like the inclusive friend. Said people like you made her look kind. You were her project, not a person. And that's the worst thing I've ever been part of. I am so sorry. My chest tightened. She'd put into words what I had always felt but could never prove. I closed my laptop, paced my room. And I cried. Again. Because grief comes in layers. I texted Ariba. Told her everything. She came over. Sat with me in silence. We didn't need words. She understood. Later that night I replied to Nadia's email. I believe you, thank you for the honesty, but I need time. I'm still healing. She responded once more. Take all the time you need. I just wanted to make sure you knew. What they said, what they did, was never okay. And you were never the problem. That line stuck with me. You were never the problem. I sat with it, wrote it on a sticky note, put it on my mirror. So I'd see it every morning. Until I believed it. A few days later I did something bold. I posted on Instagram. A black background, white text. Sometimes people love the idea of you, but never truly see you. If you're healing from fake friends, I see you. And I'm proud of you. No names, no drama, just truth, the response. Huge. Strangers messaged. Old classmates. Even coworkers. People told me their own stories of betrayal, of group chats, of being faded out like they were noise. One message stood out. From a girl named Zoya. I don't know you, but I found your post, and it felt like it was written for me. I thought I was the only one who got dropped without a word. I replied, we talked. We shared. And that's how something broken became something beautiful. A few weeks later, Ariba and I decided to host something, a small meetup, for people like us, people who'd been ghosted, faded, gaslit, hurt by fake friends. We called it Real Ones Only. 15 people came. Then 30. That it turned into a monthly event. Laughter, tears, healing. People shared their truths without fear. And for the first time in a long time, I felt purpose. Not pain. Not revenge. But purpose. One night after a meetup, Ariba and I were cleaning up when she said, "Do you ever think this all happened so you could help others?" I looked at her, smiled. Maybe it did. Later that week, I got one final message from an unknown number. I see what you're doing. I hope it makes you feel better. I knew it was TAL. I had. Same tone. Same coldness. I didn't reply, but I took a screenshot, printed it. And taped it to the bottom of the donation box at our next Real Ones Only event. Because her cruelty helped build something kind. And that irony felt like justice. I'm not the girl who cried after opening a group chat anymore. I'm the girl who turned silence into strength. Betrayal into bravery. Fake friends into a movement. And now when I look at the mirror, I still see the sticky note. You were never the problem. And finally, I believe it. 3 months? That's how long it's been since I opened that group chat by mistake. And in 3 months, I lost 5 friends, found one truth teller, and built something new. Real Ones Only was growing, a safe space, a healing room. People came with open wounds and left with open hearts. It gave me purpose. It gave Ariba peace. And still, we never said Talia's name, until one day we had to. It was a Saturday, a rainy one. Ariba and I were setting up chairs. We weren't expecting anyone new. Most of the guests were regulars. Then a girl walked in, alone, soaked, nervous. She looked familiar, but not from my life, from someone else's. She came up to me. Her hands shook. "Hi, I hope this isn't weird. I saw your post on a friend's story. I think we have someone in common." I raised an eyebrow. "Oh," she nodded. Her voice was low. "You knew Talia, right?" My stomach dropped. "Yes, I did." She gave a sad smile. "I'm her cousin." "Kind of. My mom's sister adopted her." I blinked. "Your family." She nodded. "I'm not here to defend her, I promise. In fact, I'm here because I think you deserve to know something." We sat in a quiet corner. She introduced herself. "Samira, I'm 23. Talia and I grew up like sisters." And then she told me a story I never expected. Talia wasn't always like that, or maybe she was. But it got worse after high school. She started seeing this therapist, except it wasn't therapy. It was a life coach who told her she had to control her narrative. I frowned. "What do you mean?" She was told to curate her circle. Cut out low-energy people. Create space for the image she wanted to become. I felt sick. Image? Samira nodded. She wanted to be a speaker, a lifestyle influencer. You? No glossy feed, clean friends, dramatic transformation stories. I whispered. I was part of her brand. Samira winced. "I think so." She never said your name, but I saw a notebook once. She had sections: people, traits, how they made her look. My heart started racing. Traits? She wrote things like, Zara, confident. Enhances brand. Nadia, quiet. Won't challenge. Me. And there was one that said, the anxious one, relatable, but too messy long term. I closed my eyes. My throat tightened. That was me. She nodded. I figured. When I saw your post, and then Ariba's, I connected the dots. I asked, "Why are you telling me this?" Her voice cracked. Because I stayed silent. Too long, and now she's. I was just never meant for people who wanted less. It had been 6 months since the day I opened that group chat. 6 months since I found out what they really thought of me. 6 months of rebuilding, healing, helping others. I had let go. Let the past burn. And then Talia came back, not in person. Not even in messages, but her name started popping up again. On TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, a rebrand, a new page, a new name. Same face. She was now Coach T, and her slogan, helping women design elite friend circles. I nearly laughed. Until I realized she was doing it again. Publicly. This time with no shame. No mask. I watched her live one night. Just two. See, she talked about removing toxic people. Not tolerating mental drama. Choosing high-vibe friends only. It was word for word what she used to say to us. Behind closed doors. And then she said my name, not full. Just enough. I once had a friend who made everything about her anxiety. She needed constant validation. She slowed down the whole group. Sometimes letting people go is the kindest thing you can do. I froze, my hands clenched. It didn't hurt like before, but it boiled. A deep, steady burn. Because she wasn't done. She was just louder now, worse, wider reach. Ariba watched the clip too. She called me after. "Lena, you don't have to do anything, but if you choose to, I'll stand beside you." I thought about it, for hours. Then days. Should I expose her again? Publicly this time? Name names? Share proof? Or should I let it be? Let the world figure her out the way I did? And then it happened. She messaged me from a new number. A simple text. "Hi Lena, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I think we need to talk. Just once." I stared at the screen. My heart didn't race. I didn't feel fear, just one thing. Power. I wasn't the broken girl anymore. I had options now. I had boundaries. I texted back. "Why?" Her reply came quickly. "Because I need to say some things, not to fix anything, just to face it." After days of thinking, I said yes. 1 hour. Public cafe. No expectations. Ariba offered to come. I said no. This was mine, alone. I arrived early, chose a corner seat. Brought my old journal. The one I'd written in right after the group chat. She walked in, wearing beige, no makeup, hair up. She looked normal. Not powerful. Not scary, just small. She sat down. Didn't smile. "Thanks for coming," she said. I nodded. "Say what you need to say." She took a breath. Then another. "I've thought about this more than I'll admit. About what I did to you. What I did to all of you." I stayed quiet. She continued. "I told myself I was helping. That I was making things better. By pushing out the wrong energies." She looked up. "But that wasn't the truth. The truth is, I didn't know how to love people who didn't serve my vision. I saw friends as roles, not souls." She reached into her bag. Pulled out a worn envelope. I wrote something. You don't have to read it, but it's everything I never let myself say out loud. I took it, didn't open it. She looked at me. Tears in her eyes. "You didn't deserve what we did. You were never the problem." Those words. I'd written them on my mirror. Now she was saying them. I took a deep breath. Finally spoke. I know I wasn't the problem." Her lip trembled. She nodded, double quotes, "Thank you for hearing me. We didn't hug, we didn't promise anything." She stood, walked away, and I sat there, envelope in hand. Heart not racing. Mind not spinning. Just peace. Stillness. When I got home, I opened the letter. It was handwritten, shaky lines. Scratched out words. Raw. She said she grew up needing control. Needing to be loved for who she appeared to be, not who she was. She used people to keep herself from feeling small. She confessed to the fake accounts, to the quotes, to the betrayal. She asked for nothing, just wanted the truth out. I folded the letter, placed it in my journal. Didn't frame it. Didn't post it. Just kept it. Like a scar, a healed one. That night I stood in front of the mirror. Looked at the sticky note again. You were never the problem. I smiled, then peeled it off, not because it wasn't true, but because I didn't need the reminder anymore. I knew. I closed the journal, put it away, then opened a fresh one. Page 1. I wrote, Chapter 2, The Life I Chose. Now I speak on panels. Real ones only has grown to over 400 people. We meet in cities. We tell stories. We hold each other up. Not because we're perfect, but because we're honest. Ariba is still here. Nadia comes sometimes. Even Isha joined one night. And Samira? She's one of the organizers now. Talia? I don't know where she is. Maybe still rebranding. Maybe finally resting. But wherever she is, I hope she heals. Because hurt people, but healed people protect others. I was once the quiet girl who never spoke up. Now I hold a mic. And I use my voice to tell every anxious, overthinking, sensitive soul out there, you are not too much. You were just with people who wanted less, and now we build tables where no one gets faded out. With a group chat is open, loud, loving, and real. Because friendship isn't performance. It's protection. And if I had to go through that storm to learn that truth, then I'm proud I made it out alive.